Hi everybody, this is Bandana from Bandyworks and this is our next edition of newspaper craft, articles which we are going to make out of rolled newspaper. In the last edition, we had done a bowl with a lid and today we are going to learn how to make coasters. These are the ones which I have colored. This is what we are going to end up with at the end of this session. To recap a bit, we need newspaper tubules to make our coasters. This is a double sheet of newspaper. I'm going to fold it like this and then into half again and then into another half. So now we have quarters. Using a pen knife or a regular knife, we have to carefully cut this. You have to be careful that you get the edges neat because these edges are what are visible in the tubules. As you can see, we have these long pieces which give us long tubules. But today we need smaller tubules. So I'm going to halve these further. Here you go. And these are the sheets which we are going to use to make our tubules. I have these cut sheets ready and I'm going to use a jharu ki seek to make my tubules. You can use a stick like this or you can use a toothpick or you can use a knitting needle also. But a jharu ki seek is something which everybody has at home, so that's what we're going to start with. Now watch this very carefully. You keep your stick straight on the newspaper and then give it a slight angle, right? And in this corner you fold it down like this and then using your thumb you gently roll your stick. That's all there is. Can you see that? That's all you have to do carefully. Once you're good at it, you'll be able to do it very, very fast, right? And once you come to the end, you use either glue or you use Fevicol to stick it down. And hold it down for a minute so that it does, for a few seconds so that it doesn't open out. And then you slowly put up. So this is your tubule. Can you see that? So I have made lots of tubules and kept earlier. So we are going to use these to make our coaster. Now to begin with the coaster. As you can see, this coaster has 9 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each of these squares is one element. And each of these elements is made up of the outer rectangle and the inner round disc. Now I'm going to teach you how to make one element and then you will repeat it 9 times. Here it is. Can you see? This is one square and one disc. So we will start with making the square. So to make a square, you need a shape, obviously, which is a square. So since we are at home, you have to look around for something which is square in shape. Here is one. It's a a toothpaste container with the toothpaste inside so that it's a little hard in shape. Or this is a medicine tube. If you want a smaller square, you use this. So I'm going to use this. Now what I do is, first I pick up my tube and I press it down so that it flattens out, right? So as many tubes as I need to press them out and keep them so that when I start working, they are ready for me. So I'm going to pick up one because each square is made out of one tube and each disc or the circular piece is also made out of one tube. Now watch carefully. I have to coil my tube around the box. Can you see that? I start from here, hold it down with my thumb and just gently take it round so that it overlaps You don't have to make it very tight because you have to take it out, you have to remove it from the box. Here you go. We are almost done. Okay, now I have to glue this down or Fevicol it down. So this time I'm going to use Fevicol because that will stay properly. I put a little bit of Fevicol and I just hold this down. Now you need to hold it down for a few seconds because the square is under pressure. If you release it too quickly, then it will unravel. But nothing to worry, if it does unravel, all you need to do is make it again. Okay. I'm going to, yes, I've removed my thumb and I've seen, yes, it stays in place. So now I just remove it from the box. Can you see that? It's ready. So this is my square, right? So for one coaster, I'll need 9 such squares. Okay, now we come to the next one, which is the disc or the circular piece inside. I have my flattened tubule and now I convert it into a disc. So I just coil it round and round. I make a center piece and just keep coiling it. Can you see that? The initial portion is a little tough because it's tiny, but once it reaches a manageable size, then you'll be able to coil it much faster. Can you see that? With my thumb and finger, I'm holding it down. With this, I'm just turning it around. If you like, you can keep it on a flat surface and do it also. But I find it much easier to hold it up and then just work with it. Again, if by chance it opens out, no problem. You just start again and you'll get a disc finally. Here it is. Can you see? The disc is ready. Again, just like last time, I just put a little bit of Fevicol, not too much, just a tiny bit of Fevicol, and I hold this down. See, if I leave it just now, it comes out on its own. So I hold it down like this. Here it is. It's all ready. Now the next thing I need to do is fix this inside this. But before that, I gently press it down from both sides so that all the coils sit nicely, right? And similarly, I press this down so that all the coils fit nicely. Can you see this is a little rectangular in shape because this particular box is also slightly rectangular in shape. So what we can do is we either work with a completely square bottle or something like that, or with my fingers I'm trying to get a slightly rectangular shape. This is it, right? And when I fit my disc into this, if it's snugly fit, here, there it is. Can you see that? It fits in snugly and you get a nice filled in rectangle or square as such, right? So before doing this or at any point of time, you need to put in a little bit of Fevicol so that all the circle fits in snugly. You can either put the Fevicol in before and then put the square in, or you can put it in now and see that it sits down properly. Okay, here it is. This is one unit ready. We need 9 such units. So now we have this module. I made more such modules and so I'm ready to now come to the final part of sticking them together. To protect my board, I put a plastic sheet here so that the Fevicol doesn't stick to my board and spoil it. Now, I'll just show you how to put these together. You just need to put Fevicol on the edge and hold the other piece along with it. That's all. The main thing to remember is to push it against each other a little bit with a tiny bit of force so that it becomes properly aligned and sticks together also, right? Just hold it here. Then once you feel it's stuck, you can leave it add another piece. Here. Once you have 3 such rows, then you can put the rows together, 1, 2, 3 rows, and you can get your entire piece together. After that, the next part is to fevicol the entire piece so that it gets protected also, and all the pieces come together and are nicely stuck and in place. Then it doesn't move. It becomes a hard piece which functions as altogether one coaster. So what I need to do is, either I can put fevicol directly onto the pieces and then use my brush to fevicol the entire thing like this, or I can take a little bit of fevicol in my bowl, add maybe a drop of water in it, and then when it is slightly, very slightly more liquidy than it was earlier, use that to paint my entire piece all around. Once that's done, I need to leave it, say, for at least for half an hour for it to dry. Once it dried, then we come to the interesting part, which is painting it. See, I have done it with turquoise color here and then added some accents of gold. In this one, I've painted it with orange on one side, on the reverse side it's yellow, so you have a 2-in-1 coaster. You can choose whatever color you want. I'm just going to show you how I did the painting. Now it's your choice whether you want to paint it completely or leave a little bit of the newspaper visible. Here I have regular acrylic colors, and you start. That's all there is to it, right? You can paint like this, or you can just do a dab like that, right? Once that is done, you paint it on one side, let it dry, then turn it over and paint it on the other side. There you go. You will have your coaster ready. You can have accents added to it, or you can leave it in any one particular color. That's up to your creativity. You can work with diagonals, with triangles, with anything that you want. And I hope you have a wonderful time. So my 4 coasters are ready here to be used at tea time or with breakfast. And this is what we are going to do in our next session. It's a different type of product. Now we are going to be doing weaving with newspaper tubules. So this is for the next session. Bye. Hope to see you there.